We are still here, and we are only 24 days away from kickoff, Auburn at Baylor to start the season. And it's officially the kickoff for Auburn to prove a whole lot of people wrong. He's Zach Blackerby. I'm Brad Law. This is a brand new Village Vice. A lot has happened since our last show, Zach. A lot has happened, and including several practices. Like
Correct.
We're talking about Perry Thompson and Omar Mabson and Jordan Crawford and Elijah Melendez. And
so the two biggest risers as far as what chatter seems to be, Perry Thompson and Omar Mabson.
Yeah.
And I don't think many people argue with that. Which of those two do you think is more legitimate for this season?
Perry.
I agree.
Which is difficult because I don't, until an offense has more than three receivers contribute in a way that you would call significantly, it's hard for me to say that. And I don't know that I'd put Perry in the top three, but maybe he keeps having the fall camp that he's having. I mean, if he keeps doing what he's doing, you got to have that conversation.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the biggest thing about Perry was he was playing too tight, and his routes weren't where they needed to be, and that doesn't seem to be what's being discussed anymore. It's how fast he's running and how he's making plays and how he's stepping up. And it's like, oh, right. I think we did a segment at one point, like where it's the best case scenario for Auburn if Perry takes one of those spots, and maybe that's what's happening. Well, but you're right. Like I can't see a world where he has a larger role in the offense, assuming everyone's cleared to play.
Yeah.
Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton. And if Malcolm plays, I have a hard time seeing Perry have a larger role than Malcolm at this point.
And we're not talking about plays on the field. Like, you can have a lot of plays on the field, but how many times is the ball thrown your way? How many targets do you get? It's just hard to spread the ball around them. Not a lot of offenses have more than three really highly productive wide receivers.
Well, and I mean, just to throw Omar Mabson into this, like we're all talking about, and people don't like when I bring this up, but like when we talk about running back by committee, and how there's going to be three running backs, and now with Omar there could be four. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like I don't know how you, in this offense where I think they're going to pass it more, and I think Jackson's going to have some rush attempts.
Yeah,
I think Singleton's going to have some rush attempts, and I think Malcolm's going to have some rush attempts. I just don't see how three guys can play relevant snaps game to game. I'm not talking about season long, but game to game. And I don't know.
Yeah. No, I remember like 20 years ago, the 2005 season. And I know it's a long time ago and different style of offense and different. I get it. But Auburn had four really talented running backs, and they tried to swap them out fairly evenly in the opener against Georgia Tech, and it did not work.
No, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. We saw that with quarterbacks like 10 years ago, the 2016 opener. You try to swap in 3-4 guys, and it doesn't work. So I don't know about that either, which leads to another interesting conversation. Who leads Auburn in rushing yards game one at Baylor?
Damari.
Okay.
I think it's game two.
Yeah, I don't know. Who do you think it is game two?
Damari.
Really?
Ask me game three.
Is Zach dropping an anchor here?
I think Damari's the back.
Okay. So you think he leads in game three?
If I had to guess, I'm saying Damari.
Of Auburn's 12 games, since you have dropped your anchor on Alston Island, how many of the 12 regular season games is he the leading rusher?
9.
Okay. I don't think one player will lead Auburn in rushing yards for 9 games. I just don't think it'll be that many. I think it'll be more spread out. I think you could have 4 guys who lead Auburn in rushing yards in any one game throughout the year.
I would take the under on that.
Okay. I get it. It's just different philosophy.
I'm not like adamantly against it, but I would take the under on that.
Okay. That's fair. I think
Unless
it's a fun
there's an injury.
discussion.
If there's injuries and stuff, that totally changes that conversation. Which
Sure.
is that what you're assuming, or are you assuming no injuries with this?
I'm assuming no injuries.
Wow, and still saying 4. Okay.
Like I don't think running back committee means 4 guys get 4 carries a game or whatever.
Yeah.
I just think that you have different, like, okay, so game 1, I think Jackson's probably going to rush it 10 plus times game 1.
It's good perspective. I don't disagree with that.
Now, how effective is he? Sack yardage is taken away from that. And so I don't know if he's the leading rusher, but I think he gets 10 carries. I don't know that there's a running back that gets 10 carries game 1. Does Singleton or does Simmons or does somebody else pop off on a jet sweep or an end around?
That is
or
part of
like
it.
That?
Yeah, where like if one guy gets a long run and the carries are distributed fairly evenly, like that one carry of somebody goes for 50 yards or whatever, that could be it.
Right.
You may have changed my mind on this. You may
and
have
again,
changed my mind on this.
I'm not betting my mortgage on it or anything, but
I just don't see like, let's say Auburn runs it 20 times against Baylor.
Okay. I think that's low, by the way.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many plays do you think they're 20? How many plays are they getting?
I just think they're going to throw it so much more, man.
But 2-1? Because if they run it 20 times and they throw it 40, that's only 60 total plays, and that's a 2-1 pass to run ratio.
Yeah.
I think you're looking more at like 30. I think they rushed 35 times against Baylor.
Okay.
I think they may pass 35.
I think that's high, but let's go off of that for a second.
Sure.
So you just said Jackson's going to get double digits. You want to give him 11?
I'll give him 11, sure.
That fine?
Yep.
You want to go higher, or you think 11's good?
11's fine.
Okay, so now we're at 24.
Yep.
How many do non-running backs get?
3.
Okay. So we're at
21.
21 left. Then it's how many running backs get actual touches? Do 3 get 7? Does one get 12 and then one get, 5 and the other get another one? Like, I'm not sure.
I'm
not sure.
Yeah.
I have a hard time thinking 3 running backs will get 7 touches against Baylor.
I do too. Football doesn't work that way.
Right.
Football doesn't work that. Like, as great as it sounds, football doesn't work that way. The way it normally works is if 3 backs are getting, and now I may have to peel back on my Jackson Arnold will lead in the number of carries, because if 21 carries are split between 3 running backs, I think it's much more likely that one gets 14, another gets 5, and another gets 2. That's how football works 95% of the time.
I agree.
Now, is that Damari or is it Darrell Robinson? Because I've liked the speed and the quickness I've seen from Robinson.
I think it's one of those two.
Yeah.
I think Cobb being unavailable because of the finger issue isn't ideal.
Agreed.
And if it was another back that had an injured finger, I would think it was less of an issue. But I think Jeremiah has to be relevant in the passing game.
Yep.
I think. And you need those fingers to catch. So I think that's part of it. And then, like, I can't tell with Omar. I'm super high on Omar. I think I'm higher than most on Omar.
And have been. Like, you were high on Omar before fall camp chatter.
Yeah, I mean, I've said regularly, like, when we look back at this roster in a few years, we're going to be like, oh, yeah, Omar Mabson was one of the best players on this team. Like, I think Omar's incredible. But is he going to be incredible this year? Like, I don't know. I do love the mentality of, hey, I see kind of a chip in the armor of my path to playing time. I'm going to bust through it. And it seems like he's doing that. It seems like he's taking advantage of that. But like, would he be with the 2 deep if Cobb was healthy?
Right.
The answer to that is, like, I'm pretty sure no. So like, I love the energy. I love the fall fling of Omar, but I just don't know how much he's going to play this year. I think he's good enough.
Yeah.
But is he so much better right now? As I assume he's 17. He's an early enrollee.
Yeah.
As guys who've played college football for several years. I don't know. But boy, let me tell you what, if he is,
Yeah.
watch out. Watch out. The way he runs, Brad, he runs so low to the ground. And I'm not talking about his height. I'm talking about his pad level. And I mean, just talking with folks close to the situation, like Hugh Freeze loves that style of back where it's easy for him to get lost behind the offensive line. Once again, not because of his height, but because of he understands where force and power come from. And he's supposed to be in high school, and he already understands how to use that like genetically gifted frame that he has. And like that wasn't, I mean, maybe he's been taught it, but he just like grasped it at a very young age. But that type of stuff is special.
Yeah. Got to be the best 17-year-old college football player in the state of Alabama in a very long time. I mean, I can't remember the last. I can't remember the last time there was a 17-year-old college football player in the state of Alabama that was better.
Nobody ever seems to bring it up. I don't know.
No. Yeah. I don't know. So, all right. You have on a great looking hoodie, and boy, is the weather perfect for that hoodie right now. This week has
I woke up a little bit this morning. I'm like, oh, there's a little bit of a chill throughout my house.
Feels like fall.
I'm going to put on a hoodie that sponsors this show. Rhoback, RHOBACK.com. Fall is almost here. Sometimes it feels like it, sometimes it doesn't. But make sure you're ready for football season, for everything going on this fall at Rhoback. They've got everything you could possibly want over at Rhoback.com. Their catalog is expansive. It's intriguing. It's captivating. They got the quarter zips. They've got the performance hoodies. They've got the collar shirts. They've got everything. Rhoback.com. Use promo code VICE20, VICE20, VICE20 for 20% off your order today. I'm so glad my voice is coming back. I'm so glad my voice is coming back.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Next, the last 2 days.
So you were gone. You were at a card show, and did you just get a virus? Did you fall ill?
No, I felt fine. So I went to the National Card Show, and something happened that was very good, and then I yelled a lot and lost my voice. It's totally embarrassing.
What? Hang on. I tuned in yesterday to your other show, and I was so excited for a brand new week.
Yeah,
and I sounded
your
like
voice. Frog.
You did. You sounded like you were on death's doorstep. I'm like, oh no, Zach must feel horrible.
Funny story about that. So like Lindsay stops the show and he's like, you got to do that over. Like there's something wrong with your mic. Your voice sounds bad. I'm like, no, Lindsay, I don't have a voice. Like, this is what I got. He's like, I'm so sorry. Continue.
So you're telling me that it wasn't because you were sick. It had nothing to do with the air and the cold. So you felt fine, but you lost your voice yelling?
Yeah.
What happened? What in the world happened?
Yeah. So I was at the National Card Show, and since you asked, I'll tell the story. Nobody's going to care. So you can buy cards when the cards aren't graded and they're just like not in a PSA holder or whatever. It's called raw. They're raw cards. Okay. And so PSA, which is the main leader in grading cards, they were on site, and you could pay more than normal to get it graded the same day. It normally takes months to get a card graded. You can get it done in like 6 hours. And if it's a big enough card, the extra cost is worth it.
Yeah.
So I bought a 2020 Tom Brady Super Bowl downtown. It's his rarest downtown. I bought it raw.
Okay.
And Brad, it looked perfect.
Sure.
It looked perfect.
Do you have it? Do you have it with you?
Yes.
For those on the video, would you show it to the people who are watching on the video?
It got a 10. It got a 10. And so this is like one of Tom Brady's biggest like modern cards. It's not focusing, but it is beautiful in every single way. And so when it got a 10, I screamed. I yelled. A lot of words.
Okay. I probably shouldn't ask what.
And then I'm like, I don't have a voice. I don't have a voice.
So you yelled so much at the card getting a 10.
I was yelling, it 10. So then my two oldest girls, like the rest of the day, they just were yelling, it 10. They don't know what they're yelling, but yeah, it was good. It was awesome. A vibe. It was a total vibe.
So it was like a Billy Bob Varsity Blues moment. I give it a 10. A 10.
Sure.
Man.
Yeah, I don't get the reference, but it sounds similar. Absolutely.
Right. Plenty of people listening and watching do. So that's okay. 100%. We get everybody covered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
So what does that mean for I don't want to get too far down in the weeds or too personal, but like so it means it's way more valuable than what you paid for it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So there's only 81 of these ever graded, and there's 26 10s in the world, and I have one.
And you have one. One of 26 in the entire world. Billions of people in the world. And you're one of the ones who have how about that?
It's Tom Brady's rarest modern downtown. So.
And that's why we had to fight through a little bit of Zach's voice the last couple of days. Yeah.
It's worth it. Yeah.
What a great story.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you for sharing that with everybody. Yeah. That's when you told me that, I had to take a minute and be like, oh.
I was confused when I hopped on. You're like, you feeling better? I'm like, yeah. What do you mean? I wasn't sick.
Totally. Look, never crossed my mind that you might have shot your voice over a card. Didn't even cross my mind. So just assumed.
It's only the second time ever I've lost my voice because of yelling. The other. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. The other was I went to a New England Patriots game. And do you remember there were like memes made about the play, but we played the Colts. It was in Indianapolis. And like Rob Gronkowski made like 9 people miss. It was one of the most incredible plays ever.
I think so, yeah.
Reacting to that was that was crazy.
What was the weather that? Was it cold? Was it like were the conditions?
It was in Indy, so it was in a dome.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
It was cold, but the game was not cold.
Right. Okay. All right. So I'm trying to so it wasn't weather related at all. It was just pure.
Just me being a fanboy. That's all it is.
Nice.
That's all it is. Yep.
Nice. I don't
happens
think
once every like 6 years.
I don't think I've ever shot my voice yelling. I think it's always been some sort of.
Dude, if I yell once, my voice is gone. It's just gone. And I'm like, all right, I can't podcast effectively for like a week. It's crazy.
Good point. All right. Before we get out of here, I have one other thing that I want to touch on. And I realize I'm walking into like the vortex of hypocrisy by even bringing it up. And then
awesome. The vortex of hypocrisy.
Yeah.
The VOH, if you will.
We're now entering the vortex of, it's like the Twilight Zone. We need the spinning wheel. This is the vortex of hypocrisy, but I'm going.
So we have the balcony of hypotheticals and now the vortex of hypocrisy.
We got it all. This is where, hey, what other show gives you those? What other show gives you the balcony of hypotheticals and a vortex of hypocrisy?
Right.
I hate the preseason polls. I really do. I hate them. And the preseason coaches poll came out this week.
Okay.
And Auburn's not on it. And I don't, this is like, I don't want to spend a whole show on it, but I just kind of needed to vent for a couple of minutes. Please give me some of the logic behind some of these other teams that are in the preseason coaches poll and why they are where they are.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, all right. So Indiana's at 19. Why? Why are they 19? Why are they in it at all? Why aren't they higher? Is it because they laid an egg in the playoff? Or else they'd be higher? Is it based on last year? Tennessee's at 18. We don't know who their quarterback is. Would they? Of course, they'd be higher with I'm going to leave you, but do people believe that there are enough pieces there to have them still in the poll? I don't get some of the reasoning, but for some teams, they're there because their quarterback is back. Other teams are low because their quarterback's not there. And I'm struggling with some of the logic. And of course, everybody votes differently too. Like, is this where you think teams are right now or where they'll be at the end of the year? And is this a roster thing? And it's pointless in this day and age where we have so many algorithmic ways that we can rank teams. And if we're moving toward NFLization of college football, NFL doesn't have preseason rankings. You don't need them.
Yeah. Or call them power rankings, right? Which I think power rankings are more digestible and enjoyable anyway because there's less of this. And it's like willingly subjective, right? We don't have to act like, this is the doctrine of truth.
Yeah.
So I don't think... I don't have any issue with folks not voting Auburn in the top 25. I don't have an issue with it. But I do have issues with, like you said, I think whatever traits for a roster or a program you're looking at, like I do think there are situations that regardless of what you list, Auburn is better than several of the schools that are in the coaches poll right now. If you want to look at roster, like Auburn's roster is better than Illinois'. Auburn's roster is better than Indiana's. I think Auburn's roster is better than some of the SEC teams that's on there. Like, I just honestly believe that.
Yeah.
But quarterback is weighted heavier. And so you're going to have South Carolina on there. You're going to have, Ole Miss on there, like whatever. But
Florida.
And then some of it is like, okay, well, if you're ranking coaches, like I don't think Hugh Freeze is a top 25 coach right now, but like I do think he's a better coach than some of the coaches that are on the coaches poll.
Yeah.
And then if you look at like odds to finish, in the top 25, like I think Auburn's odds to finish in the top 25 are better than several of those schools just because of their schedule. And so, like you said, everybody votes differently. What I think is interesting is you saw Auburn ranked in the top 15 and several people's post-spring rankings.
Yeah.
And if anything, Auburn's only gotten better since then.
Right.
So my question is, what changed? Or are those national writers not, privy to other poll voting or anything like that? I know this is the coaches poll, but it is interesting how there was top 15 buzz from several folks.
Yeah.
And then that has seemed to gone away when nothing has happened. Nothing has changed. There's been no injuries. It appears that Malcolm Simmons is going to be fine as far as how much he plays. Like, you can't factor that into it. I'm just trying to think of like what happened for that to change. And the answer is nothing. Nothing's changed.
Right. You factor schedule into that too. Into the idea that they've got a better shot to finish in the top 25.
Yeah, which I don't think should be a criteria for voting, but it's hard for it not to, right?
Yeah.
But like, I mean, Florida's schedule is impossible. Like, you can have all the faith in the world in DJ Lagway and the roster, and there's probably mixed opinions on Billy Napier, but like that schedule, they're very unlikely to finish the season with where they're being voted right now because of their schedule. Yeah. I'm not saying they're not a top 15 roster. I'm not pushing back against that at all.
They're 8-5 last year. Do they finish better than 8-5 or worse than 8-5 or repeat?
I think it's pretty close.
Yeah. It's pretty good against that schedule.
Were they 8-4 in the regular season? Did they win or lose their bowl game? What was
they won their bowl game? They beat Tulane in the bowl game.
So they went 7-5 last year.
I think that's right. Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah. I think you're right. Imagine you being wrong. I just can't imagine it. So yeah, some of it is just, it's just like, we got to pick which, like, we just got to pick what matters. And I think right now, all you can base it on is roster, coaching, and how your schedule stacks up.
Yeah.
And in the SEC, Auburn is tied for the fewest. I believe Auburn is tied for the fewest in opponents that they will play in the top 25 this year based off of the preseason coaches poll, which is three. And that's the easiest schedule I can remember at Auburn.
That's a really good, because Missouri's not there.
Oklahoma's not there.
Oklahoma's not there. Missouri's not there. Those are the other two that would be close. Georgia's 4.
And then you don't play LSU or Ole Miss.
Right. Or South Carolina or any of these other,
Florida. Yeah.
How about that? So the opportunity is there. And I'll make this prediction, Zach. If Auburn beats Baylor 24 days from now, they'll be in the top 25, and they will not come out of it all season.
I don't think beating Baylor is enough to put them in the top 25.
I'm a little surprised Baylor's not in the preseason top 25, quite frankly.
So Baylor's interesting because like the people who like Baylor like Baylor a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that comes down to like, do you believe in Sawyer Robertson or not? And personally, I believe in him. I think he's a good player. I hate we got to play him, and I hate we got to play him week 1, but I think he's a good player. So
they're in the mix of teams, not expected to win, but they're in the mix of teams being talked about to win the Big 12.
A lot of our Big 12 hosts at Locked On think Baylor is absolutely a contender. Absolutely a contender. And I think they're right.
Yeah.
And Cam Stewart, who talks about Baylor better than anybody, we were talking last week, and they can lose to Auburn and still win the Big 12.
100%. Yeah.
And in fact, I don't think that might be one of the more likely outcomes.
Yeah.
I think Baylor's a really good squad. I really do.
I'm trying to go to their
we got to
schedule.
play in week 1. Hate it,
Yeah,
but also super jazzed about it.
I'm trying to go to their schedule and see how many ranked teams they play. They play SMU, Arizona State, Kansas State. They play 3
They're similar
ranked
to
teams.
us. Like if they can get through their first half of the schedule alive, they got a shot. It's similar to us.
At least in terms of the preseason top 25, they play Kansas State October 4th. After that, they don't play another team that is ranked in the preseason coaches top 25.
And they probably won't, right? Just because of the nature of the Big 12. That's why they won 8 straight to end the season last year. They played Houston's and TCU. I think they played Cincinnati, like a bunch of cupcakes.
Same deal. Their last 6, TCU, Cincy, UCF, Utah, Arizona, and Houston.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Indiana would be all over that schedule.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
All right. So that's just that's kind of my annual rant. I'd like to see us do away with the coaches preseason poll and even the AP poll. We don't do that in the NFL.
It'll never go away.
I know.
And there's a place for it. There's a place for it. I think the coaches one is ridiculous. I think the AP, because at least like the voting is out there and you can see who voted for what. But the coaches one, like, I just don't understand why it exists anymore.
Yeah.
The coaches aren't voting for it. It's SIDs. Right. What are we doing here?
I'd love to hear, maybe you can comment below if you care to do that. I would like your opinion. If you were a voter, how would you vote? Like, what would your vote be? Would it be where you think these teams are going to be at the end of the year? Do you think it's where it is right now? Do you think how do you compile your vote?
Yeah.
If you're putting together a top 25? I'd be curious. How would you do it, Zach? What would you?
Preseason, I would vote on roster and coaching. Overall, like current situation. I would not take into account the schedule. I would not take into account last year. I would look strictly at the roster and how I feel about the head coach.
Okay. All right. There's no uniform answer to that, too. So, like, everybody's different, which is why it's subjective and always has been.
But I think voting with like how you are, like the preseason poll and then picking who wins conferences, like I think those are 2 different things. It's like if you want to vote in projecting and predicting how teams end, do that. Like do a playoff predictions post or whoever's gonna make the conference championship in each, conference or whatever. Do that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what a preseason poll is.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
It's fair. All right. Would you have Auburn in your preseason top 25? Let us know in the comments. And what would your poll be based on? How would you compile your rankings? We got a lot more coming up, Zach, as fall camp continues, and there will be scrimmages and lots more, like, is Perry still running with the ones? Is Omar still running in the top 3 of the running backs? And
crazy.
Who else is emerged defensively? Like, does Jalen Crawford still look dynamic in practice in the secondary? Yes. Does some of these guys keep turning heads deep? We haven't talked about a ton of defensive guys to this point. I suspect that will change as fall camp goes on.
Yeah, and hey, head over to thebarnauburn.com right now. I just put in a note about a few defensive guys that I keep hearing stuff about. So be sure to go check that out.
Right on cue. Love it.
Yeah. All right. I think that does it for today's show, my guy.
It does. Thanks, everybody, for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You'll get notified anytime we have a new Village Vice. Remember, until next time, everyone has vices. Make sure Village Vice is one of yours.